So he started taking coaching from me and completed entire syllabus. He has worked so hard and he got good position in the first attempt. Now yesterday, earlier he was ordinary person, but today he is extraordinary person because he has been selected as civil judge cum judicial magistrate authority. Now this he has obtained, he has got this position really with very, very hard work. I will ask him to share his experience with you people so that in future you should also see that how you are to prepare. Yes, Amdi, share your experience with them, that how you have started, from where you have done LLB, and thereafter how you have come here in this line. I will also hear you from that. Yes.
First of all, good afternoon to all the judicial aspirants sitting here. I would like to tell you that this strenuous journey of becoming a judicial officer, it would not have been possible without the benedictions of God, my parents, and without the guidance of my stupendous teacher, Shri R.L. Chauhan sir. It is the result of his painstaking efforts that today I am standing here, I have achieved this position. Attending the classes from sir, it was like taking a deep dive into the ocean of knowledge and wisdom. It was his efforts that he has made me something. I would like to tell you that his way of explaining the things, every concept of law, with so much precision and in a very joyful and easy manner, that it gets engrossed in your mind very easily. His way of teaching and his way of interlinking every concept, every various laws, it has immensely helped me in clearing my law concepts. He takes every student to the fountain of knowledge and let his student drink the elixir of knowledge according to his need and capacity. Then along with the classes of law, he also gives motivational lectures which inspires you to work more hard. It was a very daunting task to clear the PCS judicial examination. But with his vast experience and knowledge, it was made very easy for me that I have cleared the PCS judicial examination in my first attempt, and that I have topped in the district and scored 11th rank in Punjab. So I am very grateful to you, sir, for your teaching and always sharing your blessings upon me. That today I am blessed with this momentous day. During this journey, I have learned one thing, that if you have a positive approach towards your life and you remain optimistic and continue the momentum of your hard work with full dedication and perseverance, then there is no goal in life that is difficult to achieve.
Very good. This is the main. Once you have made up your strong determination, certainly your goal will be very near. It will be not difficult to reach there, because once you have made up your mind, we have already heard, where there is a will, there is a, everything is clear. Yes.
Then, if by any chance a person comes across a failure in his life, we should not be despondent and upset.
Because failures are also
great pillars of success.
Pillars of success. Pillars of success.
Rather, we should treat that situation as a stepping stone towards success. Because everything happens for the best reason. We should first of all remember that if we truly desire from the core of our heart anything, if you truly believe in the beauty of your dreams, then you will surely achieve success one day. So that should be your motto. And I wish you all a very good luck. And may you all reach the glory soon. And now I'll tell you something, that how I prepared all my for the examinations and all. But first of all, I had a very motivating force in my life. That was my parents. I'll share with you my own short and wonderful story.
It will be nice. It will be nice.
Yeah. So during my 12th, I had a very short and wonderful dream that I would bag the top position in school and be displayed over a star in my school. That was a recent trend that our school has started, that whosoever bags the top position in school, he would be displayed over a star. But unfortunately, I was not able to do that during my 12th exams. I felt upset at that time. But my parents, they cheered me up. They said that, no son, you have done wonders. We are happy with your performance. There is no problem. We are happy with your marks. So, he told me that time that you worked hard. We know that. You have got good marks. Just don't let this thing waste your hard work. You should keep the momentum of your hard work and you will surely achieve success one day. Then I joined college in 2011. It was a 5-year integrated course from GNDU regional campus. And there, during my first semester, I came to know that I still have one golden chance to make my parents proud. I came to know that any person who tops the college during the entire 10 semesters, he is awarded a medal. I worked hard sedulously day and night that I should not miss this golden chance and my parents should feel proud of me. And I not only topped in my own college but the entire university with 84% marks, and I was awarded a gold medal by Shri Captain Singh Solanki, Punjab and Haryana Governor in 2016. That was a very proud moment for my entire family because I am the first person who have achieved that position from my family. And since there was nobody to guide me at every step because I am from a business family, there is no officer in my entire family, neither from my father's side nor my mother's side. But then I started my judicial preparations in 2016. I came in contact with sir. He taught me everything. Earlier I have just read law, studied law. But he told me how the application of law is. What should be the application of law, where you are to apply each and every section, and how you are to learn that portion from your heart. Then you might have also seen it that while we are studying in law colleges, we don't even know the meaning of what is cognizable case and what is a non-cognizable case. So this meaning was even cleared by sir when we were studying here. And then you all know that the first stage of exam, it came in 2017 January. I passed that stage, but due to circumstances, the second stage, mains exam, it never turned up for more than 1.5 years. Me and my friends, we all had given up studying because we were not certain when the paper might turn up. No doubt we were doing our hard work at that time, but every person, he feels that when the paper might turn up, so it feels difficult. But then I gave the exam of Assistant District Attorney and I passed the first stage of the exam. On 23rd June, there was my interview. But on 21st, the letter came that your interview has been postponed. I thought that I cleared the exam with so much hard work, but now that also has been postponed. There is a destiny for every person. It is written what you will achieve in your future. Now let me tell you what happened. On 23rd of June, they decided that we will decide whether the interview will be conducted or not on 6th July. Then on 6th July, it was postponed for 4 months and still it has been postponed. On 30th January, it will be decided whether the interview will be conducted and when it is to be conducted. And on 9th July, the date of our mains examination was out. So God wanted me to go in this path only, He wanted me to pursue this examination. I passed the main stage, then our interview was lined up, which I cleared with flying colors. So this how everything happened. My destiny wanted me to be a judicial officer. Along with my hard work and the blessings of my parents and teacher, I have achieved this stage. So everything happens with the time. Only God knows when is the right time for that thing to happen. And you will be happy to know that I am the youngest male judge in this present batch of judges.
Very good. Very good.
So, Destiny sure have written something good for you. you have to realize that you have to believe in yourself that you can work hard and achieve anything in your life. Just that continue the momentum of your hard work. Never rest upon your laurels. Never be satisfied. Even now, I myself have set next aim for myself that I have to achieve greater heights in my job. So you should also believe in yourself. Just take the blessings every day from your parents, because blessings also play an important role in your life.
Yes, someone, how you prepared for preliminary examination? Mainly because they are interested, firstly, to clear the preliminary examination because this is their first step, just like you have experienced your first step in the last year.
See, while you are preparing for your prelims, first of all, the sections must be, you should know the sections by your heart. Even now, it's been a time that I have studied, but still I would remember and recall the section which I have studied. You must know the ingredients what have been written in that section. Because if you know the ingredients, you will be able to know the answer which is written in the prelims. You will be able to justify the answer. That what would be the answer. And now they have introduced a new option, E, none of the above. That is a very difficult part, because sometimes it appears that all of the above are answers, then you mark none of the above. But if you go by the questions very carefully, you will know that one answer, there should be one answer. So nowadays it has become more difficult for you. But if you continue to work hard and learn sections, you should know every section. No doubt it takes time, but practice makes the man perfect. So you should continue to practice your sections day and again.
No, whether your practice in the class to take a daily test of that preliminary has helped any way?
Yes, sir, surely. The more questions you attempt of prelims, the more it will help you to clear your exam prelims. See, these are 3 stages. If you are the master of one stage, say of prelims, and you are not able to write your answers during the mains exam and not able to express yourself, then it's very difficult for you. So, you have to give same time to each stage, and the way of studying at each stage is separate. Likewise, you are studying for prelims exam. So you have to learn sections by heart and repeat it if you can. Memorize them, what has been written. I to memorize that much sections during my prelims exam. First time when I appeared in 2017, I was having a month only. And I used to fail my section that there and then only. I used to read it 5 times or 7 times so that I memorized that section, and for 1.5 months I should remember it. Remember that thing, if you are learning any portion of your study, you should be able to retain it for more than 1.5 months. If you enact this practice right from now today, then it will help you in your mains exam, because during mains exams you don't get time to practice that or revise that section again. If I read a case law, I read it twice or thrice or even 5 times so that I am able to remember the extract which is given in that case law after 1.5 months. No doubt, right now it might have vanished or it might have become dim, but still now I can tell you what is the story of that case law or what has been given in that case law.
Very good. Now he has shared his experience with you people. Now I will expect that you should also ask some question in order to make your ambiguity clear, in order to run on this path of success. Anybody point out, and you can ask that how he has crammed sections, case laws like that. Any question which is in your mind, any question. Because I know how he has prepared in class, how he used to give quick answers whenever just like you people, when I teach here, next moment, when you come here and read the same situation was there in the class at that time also. Are you remembering that? What was that position?
Sir used to call us, each one of us, that come here and give the answer of the question. So it boosts you, gives you confidence that if you know the answer, you are able to give. It also motivates you that once you have given the right answer, that okay, I know the law, and then you work hard then next time when sir will call you, you must know the answer.
Yes.
This also
Confidence.
motivates you to work hard.
Confidence is built. Yes, Hardik, you want to ask some question?
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to ask that what was your timetable for studying the.
See, normally I used to study 2 hours or 2 hours to 4 hours so that I remain in touch with the subject. But during my examinations, I was studying from 15 to 18 hours because there was a lot of syllabus that was to be covered, and during my mains examination I had to start from scratch because we haven't studied from last 6 months, I think, and we were given only 1.5 month to prepare for the mains examination. So I had to first memorize my bare acts first of all, because I was not in touch with all of them, just the criminal law, So civil law, I was to memorize that also, and it took some time because family law, then contract, then CPC. These are very vast subjects, and so my opinion would be that if that now when you will appear for your prelims and mains exams, you will be in touch. That will be a plus point for you. So if you know your bare acts, you know your language, what has to be written. If you can convert that and express in your own words, so you can satisfy the examiner and get good marks in your mains exams.
Yes, now this is a good thing. You have crammed each and everything. Now, I think when he appeared in the exam, he might not have touched the even act also, because he was knowing each and every concept. I have made each and every concept very clear to all the students, including him, because they were very master of each and every concept. Otherwise, new student, he will have to touch the act frequently for the purpose of looking into that, what is written. If you try to copy that, it will be a wastage of time. But if you are knowing and you are writing in your own language, that will give much benefit to you people. Therefore, learn this. Here, cram each and everything. It is good experience. He has explained. Yes, anybody else? Yes.
I have question relating to interview. As we have seen that they have given very less marks to many people in interview.
Yes.
But we have seen your result also that you have achieved around 68 marks in interview. So put some light over how have you scored such marks?
Yes, here I will ask another part. Now, when you used to come to stage before me, when I used to deliver lecture, and you used to give answer whenever you were coming at the stage, whether that has helped to build some confidence in you for the purpose of interview?
Yes, sir.
How you will explain?
Let me tell you one thing first. When I started my judicial preparation, sir has given us homework that you should remember the trial of judicial magistrate of warrant cases, how the case proceeds. He has given us the writing, and the day I met him in the morning, and he asked me that whether you have revised that. I said yes, sir, I have revised that. So my turn came first on that day. So he asked me, come and stand here and repeat what I have told you yesterday. And I narrated that trial portion, that how a case proceeds when the police report is received by the judicial magistrate. Then what he has to do first, he has to supply the copies under 207 and the whole procedure. So whatever sir has taught me, and when you come here and speak in front of so many people, then you surely built up your confidence and you are able to answer that. But when you are faced by so many high court judges in the room, surely you might have a fear in your mind. But on that day, I was told by my mentor, you can say my elder brother, he has told me one thing: be calm and composed when you enter the room. And sir has taught me that if you know the answer of that question, give that answer. If you don't know, straight away tell them, sorry sir, I don't have any knowledge on this portion of law. Be honest and tell everything you know. So, as I was telling that I have scored that much marks during my university, so it also puts an impact. Some people, some children, they might have this doubt that, okay, we just have to pass our degree and not score good marks in college and we will from the very first year, start our preparations for judiciary. No doubt, this is important. Guidance of a mentor, it is very important. But at the same time, if you don't know what law is during your college, so it also have an impact. Because when I entered, the first thing they asked me, okay, Mr. Ramandeep, you have scored that much marks. So this also had a good impact that I have topped the university and I know my law. But then also they tested me from every portion of law. I was asked many questions and they also asked about my family. You have to sit calm and composed. Don't think extra. I would share with you my friend's story. He's a fellow judge now. I would not take the names. He told me on the same day he was having his interview, he told me that he was appearing for the second time. Last time also he appeared for the interview. He told me that when I entered the room, I was so anxious, I was so frightened that I forgot all the answers to the questions. They asked me the questions and I said, no sir, I don't know. No sir, I don't know. So if you have confidence in you, even they asked me a question out of judiciary syllabus. They asked me about Prevention of Corruption Act. That they asked me that in which section the sanction is required. I told them, as per my knowledge, I told them, sir, as per my knowledge, earlier in IPC there were certain sections, 161 to 165, but now they have been deleted by the enactment of Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. Earlier, as those sections were a part of IPC, the sanction was required under 197 for public servants. But now, as they have been deleted, so the sanction might be required under the very same Act of Prevention of Corruption Act. But
yes, no, this is on the basis of common sense. We can say that earlier it was in IPC, now it is in that Prevention of Corruption Act.
But I am not well versed with the section where the sanction is required.
Maybe, but you have given good answer.
So they were satisfied, okay, so he doesn't know, but he knows that there was these sections and Prevention of Corruption Act was passed, so they were satisfied with my answer. Later on, they asked me that which is your favorite subject. I told them it is CRPC. Now sir has taught us CRPC so well that I know that which section deals with what, and no doubt I revised it during my interview preparation that criminal law is my base, it's my strong portion, so I should know it, because they can ask from any portion, what is this, what is that. They asked me from 306 pardon, they asked me about the investigation procedure, they asked me about accomplice, they asked me many questions from various laws. Then from Evidence Act, IPC, I answered all of them. Then from CPC also they asked, then Constitution. So I was asked many questions from various laws. And thereafter they asked me about the general concepts. See, reading newspapers is also very important. I was not reading newspapers during my time. Sir taught us that you should read newspapers, and right from now you should have a habit of reading them, because you are connected with the society, what is happening around you. It helps you a lot, because they can ask any question. Like when our interview was there were around 30 to 40 controversies going on at that time. The most important controversies were like Sabrimala case, then 497, 377. There were many controversies like Statue of Unity. My friend told me they can ask this question also, that the statue of 3,000 crores have been spent, whether it is worth it or not. So suppose now you are a normal person, you would say, no sir, they might have introduced employment opportunities for other people as well. This might go against the government. Now while we are sitting in front of High Court judges, we cannot go against the government. That's the first point. So we have to give a diplomatic answer. Now I thought that what my answer would be, let me tell you, I thought that I would say that sir, it is very worth it, because it was an act of the government to commemorate the efforts which was made by Shri Vallabhbhai Patel ji in unifying and integrating India. So like this, you have to support the government at every step. For example, now adultery judgment came, Joseph Schein versus Union of India. Now in that judgment, my personal opinion was that rather than decriminalizing adultery, they should have made it an offense for the woman as well. If they want to bring the woman on equal terms with that of husband, they should have made the abettor as well as the woman also punishable for the offense. But now I cannot go against the Supreme Court. What the learned judges have passed the judgment,
We are to follow that.
we are to follow that.
We are to follow that.
No doubt, every person has his
But,
own opinion.
from academic point of view, you can discuss that also. You can also express your own opinion. That is not wrong. It will not go against you people because you are discussing from education point of view now.
Later on, you can say that, sir, in my humble opinion, only if they ask you. First of all, you have to be in accordance, in confinement with the Supreme Court, what they have made. Yes, sir, it's a very good decision because they ask your opinion at certain points. They can ask your opinion on any question which is going on at that point of level when you will face your interview. But you have to keep in one thing in mind, that you should not lose your confidence. Give every answer with as much knowledge you have. And if you don't know any question, say straight away, sorry sir, I don't have any knowledge on this question.
Very good, Manoj. Very good. You have shared your experience in a very nice way. Now, their confidence will also be boosted with this. Very good, very nice. Okay, we will conclude this